Now, to bring you up to speed with the current developments, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has arrived in Japan for the 15th annual summit between him and his Japanese counterpart Shigeru Ishiba. And we expect in a short while from now the Prime Minister to be accorded a warm reception by the Indian diaspora before official engagements begin between the two sides. The Prime Minister at the airport was received by Miyaji Takuma. He is State Minister for Foreign Affairs at the airport. This is a two-day visit of Prime Minister Modi to Japan. There is sectoral cooperation cutting across various sectors that exist between India and Japan. This relationship has only moved from strength to strength. So there is a cooperation already existing in the field of, say, space, defense and security, digital partnership, clean energy. These are some of the sectors, but we now expect new sectors of cooperation to be added, like critical minerals, semiconductors and artificial intelligence, critical technologies. So these are some of the new areas of cooperation. We know that Japan has already pledged an investment of around 1 trillion Japanese yen over the next decade in India. This is one of the most ambitious pledges that Tokyo has ever made for New Delhi. We already know that Tokyo is providing financial and technical assistance for various infrastructure projects in India, particularly the bullet train project, which is the Ahmedabad-Mumbai high-speed corridor of over 500 kilometers. It's a very ambitious project. And remember that Prime Minister will be traveling in a bullet train when he goes to Sendai, which is a city outside Tokyo. And the focus there would be on semiconductors. Shubhendu Ghosh is now joining us from Tokyo. Shubhendu, bring us up to speed with day one engagements of the Prime Minister now that he's arrived there.
That's right, great excitement here. Various sections of society, the diaspora, the Japanese entrepreneurs, the many business leaders also waiting to meet Prime Minister. To take you through the day's events as Prime Minister makes his way towards his hotel. It's a very special cultural welcome that awaits Prime Minister Narendra Modi when he arrives at the hotel in just a short while from now. More details, I think we should leave it for the surprise that it will offer. But if I were to describe it without revealing much, it is a beautiful coming together of Japanese and Indian cultural tradition, dance traditions, music traditions. And Prime Minister is going to witness all of that. There are hundreds of diaspora members who've also gathered to welcome Prime Minister Narendra Modi. People of all age groups have come. Many elderly people who had to come on wheelchair, they've also come, made the effort because of the kind of connect they feel with the Prime Minister. So this is about the cultural connect, the personal connect that Prime Minister has and the welcome that has been planned. Thereafter, Prime Minister also has a mega economic business engagement where he's going to be addressing the captains of Indian and Japanese industries here in Japan. We know that India and Japan are key economic partners in the region. Both entrepreneurs and businesses of India and Japan are very comfortable in working in manufacturing in the friendly nations, country and areas. In that sense, increasing the investment, increasing cooperation, Japanese technology, Indian manufacturing prowess, Indian skilled workers, those combinations are something that are being talked about as Prime Minister is here in Tokyo in Japan for 2 days visit. He's going to be Tokyo on day one. And day two is going to be an important one. There is going to be a visit to a Sendai, to a semiconductor plant with a bullet train. But at the heart of this visit is going to be the India-Japan 15th Annual Summit, which will take place later in the evening today, local Tokyo time. And that is going to be an opportunity for both Prime Minister Modi and Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba of Japan to really review in great detail the progress that has been made. Remember, it is the 15th Annual Summit between the countries. They've come really far from the beginning of the convergence of their strategic and economic partnership. And now, in fact, it is a great opportunity for leaders to really launch policies, programs that can take the relationship to the next level. So a great excitement as far as stakeholders in India-Japan relationship are concerned.
Yes, Shubhendu, on a lighter note, we saw your report on how the Indian cuisine is being enjoyed by the Japanese in Tokyo. Could you try your hands on the Japanese cuisine there? I personally find it very healthy, among the healthiest cuisines I have come across. And also, if you could tell us that in terms of people-to-people ties, what really can we expect in concrete terms?
Without revealing much about my culinary experiments in Tokyo, Munmun, I'd like to say that yes, the convergence that we talk about between India and Japan also extends in many ways to the way we like our food. It's less spicy. If you want it less spicy, it's healthier. They like to use natural products. There's a lot of emphasis on that. And that is also the reason why there is a lot of preference for Indian food with the kind of organic manner in which it's cooked and prepared. So those convergences also exist. Japanese enjoying Indian food, and Indians, of course, like to experiment with their food. So they enjoy Japanese food here, and it is one of the renowned culinary traditions of the world. But on a greater and more important note, Munmun, it's very important to see the degree of comfort that people of Japan and India find with one another. Many of the diaspora members that we spoke with, they've been here, they came as IT people, as skilled workers, many as students, and then they went on to stay here for 25, 40 years. Many have an extended family here, living here in Japan, and they've all had to say one particular thing. It doesn't feel that they're away from home, even though there is such a difference in the language. It's a different script, different pronunciation, but the cultural convergences, a very natural warmth that the people of India and Japan have towards one another, that really defines the experience of both the Japanese and the Indian people here. And that is something that both leaders will have a great opportunity to build upon, because the emphasis we are learning this time is to really boost up the people-to-people connect. It is already quite significant, but the potential is quite high. And if you're looking at the 21st century, where India and Japan will have greater partnership in things like emerging technologies and more, there will be a requirement of people, so both sides, working in larger number and in greater efficiency in one another's country. So in that sense, the ground is ready. It is for the leaders to now take it forward to the next level.
Also, Shubhendu, you've already told us about how there will be a visit to Sendai, which is known for its semiconductor prowess, and Prime Minister Modi will be going there on a bullet train. But we're also seeing that over the years, especially India makes an effort to ensure that various summits are not restricted to the national capital. There are several that take place outside. With Japan, I remember over the years, at least there have been a few in Ahmedabad, in Varanasi, etc. Japan also tries to take these summits outside the national capital there. So if you could tell us about how that is shaping up, because we're also seeing synergistic partnerships between, or called, they are being called, in fact, sister city partnerships between various state capitals of India and prefectures and other such local units of Japan.
Absolutely. That's a very interesting point, Munmun, and there are many dimensions to it. If I can first talk about the manner in which a lot of these key events, we see the leaders going outside of the national capital. It's not just symbolic of really expanding the scope of development and the reach of industries, of economic prowess, but it is also complementary in many manners for both India and Japan. If we talk about semiconductors in particular, Sendai, about 300 kilometers, 350 kilometers from Tokyo, is a hub, is a manufacturing hub. Semiconductors industries are what it is known for. In India, the kind of rise in the semiconductor ecosystem we are looking at, and we look at where they're located. They're located in Gujarat, in Tamil Nadu, in the Northeast, in Assam and elsewhere. So we also see there's a great synergy in the manner in which both the countries, both leaderships are also expanding the scope of industries to different parts of their respective countries, not just the traditional hub of industrial belts. So that is a very significant point. And also Japan and India happen to be partnering in a very significant manner as far as India's own building up of semiconductor ecosystem is concerned. It is a partnership to look out for. For a long time, semiconductor supply chain has been concern of global geopolitics to provide a credible, reliable alternatives to existing technology and semiconductor supply chain. So in that context, the visit of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, along with his Japanese counterpart, taking a bullet train to Sendai becomes hugely significant. Also, this partnership, the greater partnership, not just between Delhi and Tokyo, but the partnership between regions of India and Japan, the reflection of which we're going to witness on day 2 of Prime Minister's visit, when he's likely to engage with governors of the different prefectures of Japan. Governors are executive heads of the prefectures. They are going to engage with Prime Minister, and we see a scope for perhaps a more expanded interaction between Indian states and Japanese prefecture, which makes it both decentralized and in a manner more expansive. And that is going to play a significant role as we're talking about strengthening, improving, and taking India-Japan ties to a greater level.
We'll leave it at that. Shubhendu Ghosh reporting from Tokyo.